created to have some fun together, sharing and singing. So, join and enjoy.
Our love for opera brings us together. Thanks for being with us in this trip.
Well, I didn't.
Okay.
Because probably if it was in my hands, I wouldn't choose this area. But my teacher told me that I had to start to prepare this score. So I took it, and when I saw the ornaments, exactly what I thought, it's what you just said. Okay, with ornaments, no problem. I already can sing the agilities. There's no problem with the high notes. Uh, what can be wrong with this? Okay, I'm creer. Yeah, it was a very challenging part of the score, but for that time when I approached to this music, to this area, I was talking to a very loved and respected teacher, also Jose Luis Ordóñez, and he told me that I have to pay more attention to the intimacy of the text, and that helped me a lot in the vocal sense, in the technique, because I started to sing like for myself, so it helped me to feel even wider my inner space. And thanks God, using that information, everything got easier.
Many people may not know it, but it is very difficult to sing when you haven't found the sense or the intention of what you are singing. And sometimes it's, I would say, very obvious or very simple. Let's take, for instance, O mio babino caro. The whole melody carries you away. You really don't have to do much because the melody carries you. Just be careful in a couple of places, but in general, it carries you away. And there are many known melodies that it is also the case. They carry you, and you don't have to do much thinking about it. But pieces like this, when you start, okay, start slow, that is not good. Continue slow, that is not good. It starts approaching the center. Okay, we're better now. We have a tresillo right after that. Well, that might not, it's not in the most comfortable area of my voice. And then you start doing this and you say, okay, the opening can be kind of, as it has happened in other times, and we have mentioned, it is very easy when you start, let's say, in full, like with the whole of the voice, like we said that with the Queen of the Night, when with the night when you say the whole rachte, it is da, 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 but you immediately go into it. But when you have to prepare, as in the first aria of the Queen of the Night, that you have to start preparing here, here, grow, grow, rest, and also it is andante cantabile, which is usually not a tempo. You would usually use allegro, allegro vivace, allegrissimo, presto, prestissimo.
They're very large phrases in pianissimo, but also in the lower part of your registers. My God, why?
Yeah, and of course that has to do with the personality that Maestro Bellini wanted for Amina, that is a young, innocent girl. For many people, of course, they say that the story of Sonambula is not believable, but the story is not meant to be believable. Many things in opera are not meant to be believable.
No, it's like a fairy tale. You don't have to believe it.
Yeah, it's sort of a fairy tale, and it is this girl that is a sleepwalker. That's what sonambula means for people who don't speak Italian. That's what sonambula means. She sleepwalks, and also the sleepwalking in a way means that you are not in the length of that we all know, the humans, our reality, and part of yourself, it's in the land of the dreams.
That's
And
true.
this a non creda mirarte, in a way, is a way before the, because it is before the ornaments. It's like she's coming back from that place of dreams, and that's when she sings a non creda mirarti. And immediately later, she's going to start with the pyrotechnics and everything. But it's sort of that transition from the world of the dreams to the world of the humans that Amina conveys in this part, which, of course, as usually said, it is always easy to describe than to do. Also, when you say it is long phrases, let's explain it. This would be a typical phrase for any singer. I mean, a lyrical soprano, a tenor would say, just fair, it looks fine. But remember that sopranos with coloratura sing like 20 times this faster. So just to give clarification on why Katia said these were long phrases, I personally see no length anywhere. It's because we are used to reading different type of scores. That's why. But we will get to that comfortable part for the sopranos a little later. I also wanted to mention that there is something that I like a lot, and it is the phrasing in Italian. Because the phrasing in Italian is short, this is a very short piece of music, but it sounds very nice in the native Italian language. A non credea mirarti, sì presto estinto o fiori, passasti al par d'amore che un giorno sol durò, che un giorno solo a sol durò. That flows so beautifully in Italian that it is difficult. There are some sopranos that even manage to produce a noise as if they were about to cry, but not. It is not a cry in despair, a tremendous drama. It's also like a soft, intimate, like something broke inside of you, like trying to convey that Amina is a very fragile girl that can be hurt very easily, and that is hard. That is very hard to do. It's like I would say it like that, and I will let now Katia speak. It's like when as a soprano, as Amina, have to sing in front of a number of people, and you're singing for them, but you are doing like you're singing it for you in the intimacy that Katia said. Well, those are my first reflections on this piece. What else would you like to share, Katia?
I'm checking the pauses here, the silences, and yes, they allow you to breathe. But in one sense, the phrase it's not being caught in the point of the rest, because you start like I non credevo and that's what we have mentioned in another episodes. Yes, you are taking some air in that part, but indeed the phrase goes on. That's what I'm talking about when I say that phrases are pretty long.
Well, I insist. I don't see how long where is the length of, but I can understand that a soprano that is used to producing so many sounds in a shorter amount of time. I mean, you say, I'm going to do my ascending scale, my descending scale, my trill, and this, and this, and this, and this. Of course, keeping a note. Mirarti si presto. It's like super long. I understand that. What is the need si presto? I mean,
Yes, because you have si presto estinto and then you have an the first phrase ends until this point. So for in my mind, the first idea is "A non credea mirarte si presto estinto o fiore."
Yeah, and I think it is very good that you mentioned it. See if we can explain it somehow clear. Pauses or silences are usually where the singer takes some breath, where the composer finally decided him to give the singer an opportunity to get some air and continue singing, right? But remember that they are part of music, so they mean they are part of the intention, they are part of the emotion that you are passing to the public. And by taking air in the middle of this phrase, you say mirarti. The pause is really well. You can use it for breathing, but if for some reason you interrupt the flow of the following words, then you made a disaster because in
Yes.
the mind of the music is mirarti, but it is like a pause of hesitation, a pause before you say si presto, estinto. You say si presto, estinto. There is a pause there, but you don't make a pause estinto, pause or silence. Of you, it is not that. It sounds horrible. Even because when you start the following sound, it sounds out of place. Instead of sounding like a beautiful,
These
yeah.
silences also. Uh,
Go ahead, go
Sorry.
ahead. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I feel these silences as when you are crying and and your voice can't flow and you can't keep talking.
Also, because when you're in that mood, um, you have to look for the words. Everything in this part points to Amina looking, hesitating, finding the emotion, finding the words. And she's not super happy. She's going to be super happy in a couple of minutes. Wait for that. but, but in this moment, she's not in that mood. And she has to carry everybody there to that world. Remember that she's coming back from the land of the dreams. She's coming back to the human, so she's not there like in sort of full control, and she feels hurt, but in a way that is not like in full awareness of what is going on, because she says a non credea mirarti si presto estinto o fiore passasti al par d'amore che un giorno sol durò. It lasteth only a day. It lasted only a day. So that emotion of the beloved one, that you were able to feel that happiness, lasted just one day. And she insists in the writing of Maestro Bellini, insists on that part because she repeats, "Pasaste che un giorno sol durò." It lasted one day. It lasted one day. It lasted one day. Un giorno sol. And even though they are the same words, there are variations in the notes in what she's actually singing, because it is not pretended to be monotonous. In every repetition, Maestro Bellini did a different writing in the notes, because it's like a complete palette of, if not of emotions, of singing the same. You see, it's not going to be un giorno sol durò, un giorno sol durò, un giorno. It is not that.
No.
It's even though she's a very innocent young girl, she still can sort of live for herself all this sort of, as I was saying, sadness, nostalgia. You say, I'm sad, I'm sad, I'm sad. It's not that. It's not a repetition. There's been other creations, and opera has been criticized a lot because of those repetitions. But in this way, you don't even notice that it is a repetition, because Maestro Bellini composed several bars repeating the same words, but you hardly find yourself that she's actually repeating. And I think that is genius to repeat without people noticing that you are repeating. Um, Also, I wanted to tell you because we said okay, so it starts low, it starts there are pianissimi, phrases are super long. You cannot be carried away because if you say, ah, look, I have a grupetti here, I'm going to show, oh, there is a trilli d'amore, I'm going to make it very brilliant. I mean, I know you can, or physically your instrument can do that, but you cannot do that because the whole emotion of the first part is going to be brought to pieces. So you have to some sort of control also yourself, so that you say, okay, I can do this brilliantly, faster, higher, but I'm going to refrain from all of that and adhere to the score.
Yes. Here in Mexico, we had, I don't know if schools still do, do but in case of sism, no corro, no grito, no empujo. I don't rush, I don't push, I don't yell. And I think that is something that you have to apply in this kind of music, in this area. You can be tempted to feel that you are about to um, sing some ornaments, the triplets, the gruppetti, but you have to stay in the same line. We have here in the first. It's not like me. It doesn't match. Passaste ai amore che un giorno solo, che un giorno solo, che un giorno solo azul duro. If you could feel your voice like, could you help me please with camisón?
The gown.
Yeah, with this sleeping gown, uh, full of laces and this very soft fabric. You should feel your voice like that, floating. It's soft, it's delicate, it's elegant.
And we have mentioned in the past that when we are preparing the programs, I usually know the music that we are going to talk about, but I still review because I like to do a memory check if I recall things as they are, and I usually get horrible surprises. I I looked. We have mentioned it many times. I looked for or I found a very famous soprano whose name I'm not going to give, but it is very easy to infer that has a horrible diction. The quality of the sound is good. I have to say that the quality of the sound I liked. But her diction here, I was telling Katia that instead of que un giorno sol duró, she said que un chorno. I mean, giorno. And if there is people in Italy or who know Italian, you know there is giorno, giorno. I mean, like having the
Jordan.
soprano in front of you and telling giorno, it's giorno, not chorno. And so In a delicate piece of music like this, whenever you can hear everything because the orchestration is close to zero, you're alone on the stage with your music, and very delicate orchestration, barely orchestration. It's mostly the voice, and you come up and say che un giorno sol zero instead of duro, un giorno sol duro, che un giorno sol zero. What is zero supposed to mean? I mean, lady, you only have two syllables there. It's impossible that you don't realize that you're saying zero. And you have the orchestra, the director there, and musicians, and probably her marketing manager. And nobody told her, "Hey, lady, your pronunciation is awful." Everybody, it's not like you're singing Cavalleria Rusticana or Pagliacci, where the orchestration is super
And nobody
heavy,
cares.
and the diction is difficult to, the words are difficult to understand. Here you are alone, everybody's listening, and you commit chorno sol dero.
Pero.
It's disrespectful to do that. I know that she wasn't comfortable for what was Katia explaining. This, and we have shared, this is not a comfortable piece to do for a soprano that has good coloratura. We understand it is not comfortable, but lady, do the effort to steady your words and your sound.
Well, I have to say that if you are singing from high C and higher than that, all your vowels will sound like ah. But if you're singing in this range, please, the vowels have to be understood. Yes, practice all your letters, please.
We have also mentioned that it is a common thing that the sopranos with high coloratura do when they say, well, people are expecting my trills, my gruppetti, all my ornaments. So I can produce any sound and people are going to clap, and that is unfortunately, that is true. But do that in the following part, in the anon giunge. Don't do it now because everybody, like me, this recording has like 40 years or 30. And look at me, I am 30 years after criticizing a very famous soprano who couldn't produce the right syllables for something that is absolutely beautiful. So, moving on, and I think that Katia is not going to agree with me because you know that as a good soprano, she doesn't like tenors enough. After this Passaste al par d'amore, no, sorry, Giorno Sol Duro, there are two interventions of the tenor that here is under the name of El Vino, and
Mhm.
I think I have not said it enough in the program. Katia knows it, but not here in the program. I understand that the tenor leggero, needs to have a white voice. I understand that because if he doesn't have that kind of voice, he's not going to be able to do all the ornaments. I understand it, but I have a problem when the voice of the tenor is so white that the soprano is heavier than the tenor. It's it's like a soprano singing with a young boy, and somewhere in my mind that doesn't make sense. And I wanted to mention here because right after "A Sol Duro" comes the voice of Elvino saying "O più non rego," and I personally like it when the two voices are there, provided that the tenor doesn't sound like a 14 years old boy in junior high school. If he doesn't sound like a boy in junior high school, it still sounds like a tenor. I like the way the harmony that Maestro Bellini achieved in this complete piece. Because sung with the right emotion, it really touches. Because it is not fighting or crossing over the path of the voice of the soprano. It's in a way emphasizing what she is saying. And for me, it actually works if the soprano is lucky enough to find a tenor who doesn't sound like a child.
Suddenly it sounds like his younger brother or something.
But nobody's going to believe it. Well, of course, for a heavier voice, since he's singing above G, if I recall well, AOPU, no, no, yeah, he sings a couple of notes above the G and the F. The tenor voice tends to sound very. Oh, guess what? They say there is going to be an earthquake. Most likely, we will not feel it here because the earthquakes in
Sorry.
Oaxaca do not reach us. We are in a separate plague. But well, hopefully in Puebla you don't either. If you do, you tell me, okay?
Sorry.
You're there still? Uh, okay, let's see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So, guys, if you noticed short something weird in the recording of the program, it's because we had a small earthquake in the area where Katia lives, and I also got the same alert. But the truth is that we're not in the same area, so it was impossible for me to get the earthquake. Fortunately, Katia is doing well, and the whole family is doing well, so we can continue laughing on how the tenors sound. I was trying to explain that I also understand, and it is because of the nature of the male voices. When a male voice reaches an F and above, they tend to be very noisy. I mean, you can always control, try to modulate, but the voice of the tenor is usually very sort of loud, not so elegant, not so easy to control in that area. And so if you come in from a delicate voice, que un giorno sol duro, and then the other, piano re, it's like, you see,
Well, some sopranos do the same. If I don't push the high note, it's not gonna happen. So I'll scream.
yeah, and we just laughed very recently on a very famous soprano, very recent famous soprano that basically yells. I was, and she was yelling in Amina. I mean, Sonambula, one of the most delicate roles ever written, and she's yelling. And I said, you basically lose everything. We are talking about the intimacy coming from the land of the dreams and all these things, and she's singing out loud, "Que un giorno sol." It doesn't make sense that you throw all the voice out there. It's horrible. Well, and so imagine this horrible, this famous recent soprano singing out loud, "Sol duro," and then the tenor, "Bien André," and then you say, "Okay, wait a second. Am I watching Aida or Tosca, or in what moment we lost Bellini and Sonambula to come into a paradise of yelling?" They are even different genders in opera. You're going to verismo, where yelling and singing out loud is common and demanded by the libretto and the music itself. But we are talking here about bel canto, beautiful singing. And beautiful singing implies that the tenor also somehow needs to find a way to sound. Well, try to find a way to project your sounds softly. Because if you throw out everything out there yelling, you're simply going to break this beautiful passage. Anything that you would like to say in criticizing the tenors in this short part?
Oh my god. No, I think that we have enough. I don't want to be more hated.
She starts wrapping up her part when she says Potriano vel vigore il pianto mio recarti, ma ravvivar l'amore il pianto mio non può. Which is also sounds so beautiful in Italian. And many times a part of this is cut to to go quickly into the ornaments because of course remember it is a soprano coloratura, so she cannot wrap her first part with Zoro. She has to put some pyrotechnics in there. The pyrotechnics are in a way moderate, but are still there. And I would also understand that the soprano arrives to these ornaments a little tired for what Katy explained earlier. These are very long phrases for this kind of voice. And remember that we have explained many times that whenever you watch a video or a program saying, oh, this is difficult because it is a high C, oh, it is difficult because it is an E6, it's not difficult because of that. It's because of what you have been singing before, what you are going to do after, and the combination of volume. If it is too loud, if it is too soft, there are many ways to get things complicated, but it is not the note itself. Basically, if you see, watch, read someone saying that it is difficult only because of the note, you can say for sure that this person is an ignorant.
Yeah, I was thinking that the less of the problem it's the high note or the pitch. If you are suffering for this, it's because probably it's not for your voice or you are not practicing enough or you're not practicing well. But the rest of the work is about technique and that is complicated.
That can always be complicated because when you're wrapping up this part and you have this very moderate ornamentation, remember that you're still coming from an intimate dialogue. Wait, we are about to reach your fireworks, but you are not there. So you want to make sure that you're wrapping up this beautiful part in a beautiful way. Not to rush, because as soon as you look at this, I know that a soprano with coloratura says, ah, piece of cake, look, okay, I just said, super easy. But that is not,
It's tricky.
it, I mean, you say, I can do harder with Olympia, what can, how, what's the problem with this one? The only problem is that you have to keep the same idea, the same way Amina has been
Yes. When you're
singing.
singing a lot of notes per second, you even can uh, ignore some of them or change some of them. But if you are singing fast enough, people is not gonna appreciate it. But when you have less notes and they're large, they're long. Well, if you have technical mistakes, are gonna be very notorious.
It's going to be notorious because people are going to say, when she started reaching the high note and started descending, something happened to her voice, and maybe the woman is about lost the pitch. Even if you don't have
Yes.
an educated ear, you say, wait a second, there is a sound that I don't think goes
Mm, I don't think so.
there. It sounds different in some recordings, so that's what can usually happen. Also, remember that think
Yes, it's difficult to reconnect your brain. Yeah.
essentially, yeah, but now it's time to go to this is what where Katia says, okay, this is fun. Allegro moderato, and look at this. And also, it is like very playful. I don't know how would you describe the mood of Amina in this non giunge, woman pensiero, tra la la la.
Yes, I even feel the impulse to dance a little bit.
You see, this is one of the times when you hear the music um, and you actually believe that she's enjoying or that she's happy. because many times other composers whose names we are not going to give, I don't want more enemies today for the rest of the day, maybe the following episode. But there are several composers that say, ah, and this is notice that,
And also starting in pianissimo,
and also,
but leggerissimo.
what the
What the hell? Okay.
and also this is where the singer it's of course you can basically read the notes, but I prefer when the musician, because a singer is a musician, but I prefer when the musician understands that there are things that are not written but are implicit. What I was saying, there is this little symbol here that it is telling you it is not giunge, it is giunge, but the soprano has to understand that she has to play with the two sounds j j giunge, because if she does giunge, you find the joyfulness in there. Because if she's giunge, human pensiero, it's you see like very flat. Even if you sing the notes, but if you play a little with the consonants, it certainly does the job. Because we were saying at the beginning, these guys here that we call silences are in fact part of the music. Remember that this music is composed of sounds and silences. And silence does not mean that there is no music. Means that the silence is part of the music.
Yes,
Regarding
I remember. Sorry,
no no go ahead go ahead.
I remember a record from a very old school soprano. You know, this squirrel school, and well, the voice was very wide voice. She didn't respect the silences. Okay, in the ornaments, her voice was flying like oh my god, I forgot the name of the composer, like a Paganini violin. But she rested a lot of the intention, and I think that you shouldn't sacrifice one thing or the other.
Of course
She
it's
was like,
harder.
oh my god, what's going on here?
Eh,
Yeah.
you really lose a lot of opportunities when you don't start it like that, because look at this Jun Je Sie Ro. Again, Maestro Bellini not only played with the first part of Non Crede and this with opening with similar notes, but now is taking a same way. It's trying to convey the same idea, like dividing a one word Jun Je Sie Ro. You play with the S Sie Ro, and you find it joyful.
Mhm.
At the end, you can say, oh, but he gave you the indication here. Look, he gave you an indication on how he wanted zero. But you have to be smart and say, how am I going to define zero? How are you going to define zero? And when you play with those sounds, that's when you make the area, the piece of music yourself, because that's when you say, did you hear Katya's or another singer's version? It sounds so joyful. She's enjoying the notes, she's enjoying the soy levels, she's doing this, she's doing that. Instead of saying, did you hear that lady's miserable recording where you don't understand that? She changed the sound, she omits this, and it's like she just mounted the merry-go-round. Because you can do it. I mean, we all know that you can do it. You already have the speed and the breath to do it fast. But Maestro Bellini is telling you enjoy and pass this joyfulness to the audience.
In the first place, it doesn't say like vivace or
Yeah,
prestissimo.
and it is not the first time that a soprano says, Maestro, I know that it says whatever it says, Allegro Maestoso, whatever. I don't care. I need it prestissimo. Prestísimo.
My song, my
Maestro,
rule.
maestro. Look at me, maestro, maestro. Giunge, maestro, maestro. And you know that you have seen or witnessed some. You know that some many singers do that. But they also do the opposite. Well, to be fair, many lyrical and heavy sopranos say, if you listen, for instance, the recording of, I'm not going to give again the name of the soprano,
No
but
problem. Yeah.
a famous dramatic soprano that sang Macbeth, and we have mentioned 2 or 3 years earlier that there are way too many ornaments for a heavy voice. Macbeth is
Um,
very
uh,
ornamented, and it is clear that she asked the director to say, "You know what, maestro? I'm not doing the original tempo."
I'll sing as I can.
And truth is that she really couldn't do very well because she runs out of breath in the middle of a scale. And there is a
Oh
recording
my
that
god.
witnesses that she. So imagine this. You're playing with your ornamentation at the pace that the composer dictated, and you say, "No, faster, because I like it faster." And you sound like Speedy Gonzalez sing, "Yeah, oh, my Messiah," or you go like in Macbeth, tan tan tarara, and then you fall out of breath. And then,
Oh,
and the two of them, it's like opposites of playing with the tempo with very horrible results. So make sure that if you're going to make the musicians change their tempo, at least make sure that it makes sense. You recall that I shared with you also a recording of Olympia with a young singer that was also absolutely horrible because she added many notes, unwritten notes. She did it faster, and we said she even got lost in her own notes.
but you wrote it. Why?
Of course, there is always this group of people who say, "Oh, look, amazing, the best Olympia." No,
Yeah.
the most horrible off pitch, out of tempo, lost the notion of her own notes. It was really a very horrible thing to see. Please don't try those things in music like Bellini's, because as we have mentioned in bel canto, you can perceive everything. So she starts on giunge un pensiero del cadento, io son piena a mi sensi. And look, I also wanted to make you notice. I'm going to go back to the previous page so that you can see. I was saying giunge siero tento piena a mi sensi pena. You see, he's using the silences to transmit the same. I wouldn't like emotion, but to pass the same playful idea. Pena, to ma fida, ta, 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 ta. That's why when you listen to this part, even if you don't know the words, you know that the melody always goes tan taran tan taran tan 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 taran tan taran tan tan taran tan. You see, it is very recognizable tan taran tan, even if you don't know the words. And that's again, as we have mentioned in other episodes, that's when you can recognize somebody who is a genius. He knew that by doing that, everybody would always have the idea of the melody in their minds. It's very easy to pass. Dun 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 dun. Dun. So even if I don't hit the notes, nobody cares because they got it. They got the message. Dun, 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 dun. Now, if you do it well, it's much better. Of course, it's much better. If you pronounce
Try.
well,
Try
much
at
better.
least.
Yeah, please, ladies, try. I mean, um, that's mainly what I wanted to tell you about these silences in between the syllables or the words. Anything else that you would like to add in these parts before we actually go to the high notes and the challenging ornaments? On your side, Katia, anything that you would like to add to this part?
Um, no, I think that now these pauses are like now part of the hesitation. Tu, oh, mi tesoro. She's so happy. I don't know if you have ever feel you're so happy you can breathe. You are like, oh my god, yes. Breathing like this. I feel this part and these silences with that emotion. Ah, sì, io credo appena tu mi oh mio tesoro.
Mi abbraccia e sempre insieme, sempre uniti in una speme. I really love the whole world. I shared that in the first part of the Anon Querida Mirarti. But this Anon Junge also has this simplicity in the words that actually work. Because Junge, woman, pensiero, without any complication, without using any sophisticated language. Because Maestro Bellini didn't say that Amina is a simple, innocent girl. He also used simple words to convey the idea that she is a simple, innocent woman. So let me read the text in full. A non giunge un pensiero al contento ond'io son piena. Ai miei sensi io credo appena, tu mi fida, o mio tesor. Here, for instance, there is not a silence. Tu mi fida, because tu mi fida is in fact one phrase. O mio tesor, you're telling him, you are my treasure, you're my love. There is no actual silence written there, but the soprano needs to know that she has to do something, because otherwise it's going to sound like tu mi fida o mio tesor. It is not tu
Mhm.
mi fida o mio tesor, it is tu mi fida o mio tesor. Mi abbraccia e sempre insieme, sempre uniti in una spemme. Della terra in cui viviamo ci formiamo un ciel d'amor. And that's where actually starts the after the un ciel d'amor, that's when the lady goes crazy and starts ascending and descending.
What a surprise! The soprano is turning mad.
We can explain it like sort of you are so super happy that Amina can basically no longer control herself. It's just so I don't know. It really depends on the personality of each of us. But there is people who really gets carried away with emotion, with so
Yeah.
much joy. And I think social media has many videos on that of the man who sees her son score in a sport and it's oh my god! it's, Amina is very close to that. Is there any suggestion, advice that you could do provide to a soprano trying to engage? Because this is like a journey. You start non crede a mirarti with everything we can explain, long phrases, opening in a not comfortable area of the voice, wrapping up with ornaments, but still wait. This is still non crede Mirarti, then you start on Jonji, but you're still not in the super highest and super fastest. It's still a part that you have to cover, and finally you reach your most desired high notes and super fast
Yes,
ornament.
because in this is not the most complicated part because you are gonna sing the same again and now with plenty of ornaments. So try to don't explode in this part. I know that you can be feeling the temptation to rush to explode, but no, be careful because you are gonna re-expose the theme, and now there will be higher notes and more ornaments. So if you are giving it all in this moment, you are gonna be lack of sources for the next part. So be careful.
And since we have also said it with other areas, the thing is that if you're going to add something, you say, oh, I'm going to, whatever it is that you're going to add, it could really be nice if you make sure that it makes sense with the style of the composer. Because many times,
Yes.
please, because many times you add things and you say, but that is not Mozart anymore. I don't know who it is, but well, you, but certainly that is not what Mozart could have added. You do this and you say,
Yes.
oh, that's super fine, but that is not Donizetti anymore. That is not Rossini anymore. That is something so completely out of place that it is clear that you just wanted to showcase yourself.
Yes, I'm gonna take it, but it offenses me.
I don't, I'm not sure how many sopranos actually rehearse what they are going to add or change in the second time they go for the motif, but I think they should record themselves and listen completely and say, yeah, it works. Or say, you know what, man, it really doesn't work. But because sometimes with the orchestra or when you're looking at the pianist and the pianist is like, it's not working, but I'm a professional.
But I'm here just to play.
I will let her do whatever she wants to do, but I disagree. That's not even musical.
Yes, yes, a very good exercise and something that we haven't talked about before, I think. Record yourself rehearsing, uh, or even in the concert or your perform, record and be brave, but also humble enough to see yourself, to listen yourself, and accept what is working and what is not. Because when you only listen to yourself inside of your head, it happens that like in other situations in my mind sounded well, yes, but outside it's not the same. Trust me. So be careful with the style, and I think that we have to approach to person that could probably help us to write a cadenza in the style, approach to a teacher, to your director. Be humble and listen the advisements, please.
Yeah, in the style of the composer.
Yes.
So, mm, I don't know if there is any particular ornament or phrase that you would like to make people notice, to give advice on how to prepare in particular to them. I mean, la terra in cui viviamo, because sometimes, let me see if I can explain it. I mean, lady, I know you're singing your high notes, but also make sure that the high notes are in the same style. Even if you're following the score, for instance, in the first vivia, when you reach your first high note, not even a C, when you start reaching this part, look. Of course, you can always say, since I am reaching the C and higher, I am going to sustain it. I'm going to keep it for longer. And the answer is yes, lady. I know you can, but I think you shouldn't because what you
Well,
add,
you'll see.
what you add here is going to impact the rest of the timing of the piece. And if you do it in the first round, then if you do the repetition, if you go the second, either you are going to make it longer or do something more spectacular, as Katia was explaining. Because if you use all your cartridges in your first round, there is nothing you're going to add in the second. And also, there are many recordings of sopranos, moreover in live, at the Metropolitan or whatever, that you see that they throw through everything in the first, and when they do it again in the second, you feel like, well, she not ran out of resources. She ran out of creativity. She was already too tired. Instead of saying, wow, look at what she's doing, you start doing the opposite. Like, maybe she shouldn't have kept the high note, the C's or the D's or the A flats or whatever. She shouldn't have kept them for longer in the first. Because by the end, when people are expecting something, a very super brilliant thing to wrap up, you already heard it the first time, and you say, "Oh no, she was tired by the end. Oh, poor lady." Well, still, I'm going to give her the applause.
Yes. What pity.
But unless you told us differently, The ornaments here are not particularly difficult. I mean, it's basically what we have seen in other episodes, of course, in the style of Maestro Bellini, but unless you want to point to anything in particular, I think it's manageable if you have the right voice.
Yeah, if you are coloratura, you have only to take care of the pitch, learn each note, and the voice will flow. Just be careful. There are some versions where and you say something like when you are singing the same note several repeated times, try to don't support each one in different moments because that's gonna be exhausting and your pitch can be losing the height. So try to make it more superficial, more articulated in the superior part of your voice. Not and that will make it easier.
Also, because for what you were explaining, if they don't do it like that, it's going to be close to impossible that they reach their E flat.
That's
Well, as they are
right.
approaching,
Works.
just before exactly like that. It's horrible when it sounds like that. But the soprano knows that she's going to get in trouble. She knows before she hits it because when I'm not sure how to explain it, but see if I do it well. If not, Katia can always explain. Because the singer usually knows when he's or she's going to hit the note
Yes,
before,
you can see the future and you know when you are not gonna be able to
and you
sing and
say,
you start to suffer before and that results that definitely you don't sing it.
and then you decide, okay, I'm going to sing it lower or skip the note, as many singers have done, or as just Katia demonstrated, that the squirrel jumps on the stage and there's a note because she finally found at the most horrible moment that she was placing the sound in the incorrect area.
Oh my
You see,
god,
when you're
yeah.
and you say, I'm not I'm not reaching. I know that I'm not going to reach the sound. I yell, I invite the squirrel or I omit the sound.
It's like a superpower.
But you have to go for any of those choices as you are singing. Because you cannot say, maestro, maestro, give me 3 seconds to.
Oh, I'm gonna try again. Let's go back to this bar. No, that's not gonna happen.
That's not going to happen. Oh, I got my impostation wrong. So let me correct and let's do it again.
No, no,
Yeah,
that's not the way it works.
and also I would say we have also mentioned in the past if the highest note here is an E flat, yeah, that's the highest, right? This was one of the highest.
Yes.
Yeah, if the highest note is an E flat, make sure that you can vocalize at least up to an F. Because if the E flat is the highest you can reach, by no means try to do it on a stage. After all this journey that we have described, it's close to impossible that you make it.
You are gonna be nervous. You are gonna be tired. So you can't leave this pitch randomly. No, no, you have to vocalize higher if you are gonna sing this on stage.
And it is very particular that the area actually wraps up very modest. You after you have sung your highest note, but even if you sing the highest note, and we're going to go back to the example of this recent popular soprano that likes to yell everything, a delicate role that is yelled all the time. Of course, there are ways you can manage the ending. Just one thing, don't yell. And also, don't create an artificial, super long final couple 2 or 3 notes, because that is not how it is written. Because then you lose the sense of who Amina is. Or something like that, because it's going to be Traviata, or it's going to be something like the
Exactly.
sempre libera. The sempre libera is usually kept like that, after it is a D flat, if I remember well, when the soprano sing it.
It's like I don't have good high enough notes, but I have a good fiato. Who cares? It's not a moment to prove it.
This part is not to prove the fiato at the end. That is not what it's about. So if you say, since I missed many notes, I did a mess. with all, instead of showing clean notes ascending and descending, that I did like a mess with everything. I'm going to keep da.
No, please just finish this as fast as possible.
And now receive your applause, because you really deserve it. Um, I was also telling you that I have never attended a presentation, a concert, recital, whatever, where a soprano actually dares to sing it. And that really calls my attention, because it is lovely, and I know that you are going to get your
It's
applause.
beautiful, yes.
So why wouldn't you like to have a huge applause if you have the E flat? Why wouldn't you be willing to get your applause for this beautiful piece of music and go for other things? Well, you also expose yourself. So I really couldn't find a reason. I don't know, Katya, if on your side you can think of anything that could justify why nobody sings it.
Because you have to be a singer.
Uh, Probably because you know that the squirrel is not going to work on the stage, and you say,
Exactly. But I promise that for our next concert, we'll have this on stage.
"Yeah, I know we all are going to love it, and we are going to break this impression that nobody wants to sing it, because I really think it flows. It can feel long because of the two parts complete. It can feel long and tiring, but it flows.
Yeah,
The music is actually connected, so I think it
it
could be.
moves for itself.
And that way you can see how the actual notes are sung, right, Katia? Not yelled
It will be in style.
in the style of the composers. We will appreciate it
I
when.
promise.
I can tell you that we have had some preliminary talks. We still don't have anything in firm, but we this year need to go for another presentation. Me myself, I already have the program completed. I'm already rehearsing it.
Jesus Christ.
I want to do something super fun, super fun, um, because maybe you have realized that I like to have fun on the stage. So that's on my side. So I have already in my mind, but we will continue in those conversations, and we will let you know. Okay, final thoughts or anything, Katia, so that we can wrap up.
Yes, I know that after all of our comments, probably now you are terrified to sing something like this, but I think that is totally worthy. But yes, it requires a very settled technique. But I think that it's so beautiful that definitely you have to try.
You can follow our channel for the latest updates and more content. Opera We Love Singing, in just one word. Link in the description of the episode.